Online databases, PHP and MySQL programming. MySQL is the most popular database system used with PHP. MySQL is a database system used on the web which runs on a server and is ideal for both small and large applications. It's very fast, reliable, easy to use and free to download. MySQL uses standard SQL and is developed, distributed and supported by Oracle Corporation. The data in a MySQL database are stored in tables. We can communicate with a MySQL database by a query. Query is a question or a request. We can query a database for specific information and have a record set returned. Here is an example of MySQL query. In the example, the query selects all the data in the last name column from the weblib table. If you don't have a PHP server with a MySQL database, you can download it for free from www.mysql.com. PHP 5 and later can work with a MySQL database using MySQLi extension or PDO. PDO works on 12 different database systems, whereas MySQLi will only work with MySQL databases. So, if you have to switch your project to use another database, PDO make the process easy. You only have to change the connection string and a few queries. With MySQLi, you will need to rewrite the entire code, queries included. Here you can see the links for MySQLi and PDO installation. On the left side is a code example on how to open, close and create a MySQL database. After the creation of database, in order to create a table in MySQL, you have to use the create table statement as presented in the example on the right side. Data types and other optional attributes. The data type int varchar etc. specifies what type of data the column can hold. After the data type, you can specify other optional attributes for each column such as not null. Each row must contain a value for that column. Null values are not allowed. Default value. Set a default value that is added when no other value is passed. Other optional attributes you can specify for each column are unsigned, used for number types, limits the stored data to positive numbers and zero. Auto increment. MySQL automatically increases the value of the field by 1 each time a new record is added. Primary key, used to identify the rows in a table. The column with primary key setting is offered an ID number and is often used with auto increment. Each table should have a primary key column. After a database and a table have been created, you can start adding data in them. Syntax rules. The SQL query must be quoted in PHP. String values inside the SQL query must be quoted. Numeric values must not be quoted. The word null must not be quoted. The insert into statement is used to add new records to a MySQL table. Here you can see the generic description of the code. Here you can see the code which we can use to insert data into a MySQL database. If we perform an insert or update on a table with an auto-increment field, we can get the ID of the last inserted record immediately by adding the following code line. In order to insert multiply records in our database, we have to use the MySQLi multi-query function as presented in the example on the left side. Prepared statements. A prepared statement is a feature used to execute the same or similar SQL statements repeatedly. Prepare. An SQL statement template is created and sent to the database. Create values are left unspecified called parameters. Example: insert into weblib values. The database parses, compiles, and performs query optimization on the SQL statement template and stores the result without executing it. Execute. At a later time, the application beats the values to the parameters and the database executes the statement. The application may execute the statement as many times as it wants with different values. In order to create prepared statements in our example, we have to add the following code lines in our previous example.